Sam Neill, an actor whose presence defined 4 decades of cinema, has died in Sydney at the age of 78. His family described the passing as sudden and unexpected. Despite a 2023 diagnosis of a rare non-Hodgkin lymphoma, Neill had recently been reported as cancer-free, making the news a shock to the industry and the public alike. To many, the default image of Neill is that of the reluctant hero in a khaki shirt, the man who grounded the high-concept spectacle of Jurassic Park as he led a generation of moviegoers through a jungle of dinosaurs. Looking closer at his 7-decade filmography reveals a different reality. His work moved constantly between blockbuster stardom and the psychological depth of art house cinema. His career occupied a wide spectrum, placing the relatable everyman directly alongside some of the darkest, most complex figures in modern film. Neill's range was established long before he reached Hollywood, beginning with his roots in the regional cinema of the late 1970s. He first drew international eyes in Gillian Armstrong's 1979 breakthrough, My Brilliant Career, followed by a leading role in the maritime thriller Dead Calm. During this era, Neill was part of a cohort of actors and directors, including Mel Gibson, Judy Davis, and Jane Campion, who brought Australian and New Zealand film into the global spotlight. These films demonstrated that regional performers could deliver a specific type of psychological nuance that the industry had previously overlooked. Neill became a foundational pillar of this movement, helping to establish an independent cinematic wave that exported its talent and its stories to the rest of the world. This foundation allowed him to inhabit roles at the extreme ends of the human experience, such as portraying the Antichrist in Omen 3. He committed fully to the visceral and the macabre, whether he was mutilating himself in the sci-fi horror of Event Horizon or playing a husband driven to violence in Jane Campion's The Piano. He balanced these dark roles by portraying figures of immense dignity and historical weight, from Cardinal Thomas Wolsey in The Tudors to the legendary title role in Merlin. This variety meant that throughout his career, he was consistently tasked with making disparate, often extreme characters feel entirely plausible. His performances relied on a smoothly elegant manner that provided an emotional center for the audience, regardless of how surreal or violent the scenario became. That grounding presence allowed him to work alongside the industry's most respected actors, twice co-starring with Meryl Streep in films that required a high level of dramatic focus. That quiet dignity served as his primary tool, acting as a universal anchor whether he was in a small, character-driven drama or a massive studio spectacle. In the wake of his passing, the industry has responded with an outpouring of tributes that look past the characters and focus on the man. His colleagues have shared stories of his mastery on set and the genuine humor he brought to a craft that he never seemed to take for granted. Longtime friend and co-star Richard E. Grant shared a particularly personal memory. Grant described Neill as a guiding figure who helped him through a period of deep personal loss, calling him an officer and a gentleman in the truest sense. His legacy is that of a working actor who bridged the gap between independent art and commercial dominance with apparent ease. Sam Neill left the world with the same profound, quiet dignity that defined his 4-decade presence on the screen.